What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. What's up, Talks an American, talking about Manchester United, and an Ornstein bomb has just dropped about Bryan Mbuemo. And is this finally the deal that pushes it over the line? We will have to wait and see, but at this point we're just going to go over all the updates and news on the matter. But before we do so, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Just breaking news within the last hour. Was not expecting to make a video here today, waiting for tomorrow to drop that, but this bomb is massive, and we are going to go over that right now, with the only issue and something playing caveat, which will play a factor in this, is with Liverpool likely getting Hugo Ekitike, Newcastle do want to sign Yono Wissa. The Mbuemo deal will be much more difficult if United wait so long that Wissa leaves. That was an hour ago. Within that hour, we had the Ornstein bomb. The third bid for Bryan Mbuemo is in, 65 million guaranteed plus 5 million in add-ons, and that is from David Ornstein, who is as good as it gets when it comes to transfer news. So big time stuff there. Brentford do not want to lose both Mbuemo and Wissa in the same window. Newcastle's interest in Wissa has accelerated Manchester United's movement on signing Mbuemo. That is from Ben Jacobs with his interview with the United stand today. We're not going to talk about Emi Martinez right now. My feeling is that those 5 million in add-ons will not be gettable, which means Manchester United may still feel like the total package is closer to 65 million, and Brentford will be able to bill it at 70 million, number they always wanted. So that, from that interview with Ben Jacobs on the United stand. Given that Mbuemo wants the move, it will be a surprise if this bid isn't accepted. The valuation has been met, but the structure also needs to be met. That is from Ben Jacobs. He also actually went on to talk about, I still think we might see some legs in the Benjamin Sesko deal as a potential striker for Manchester United, which I think would be very big as well. Not only are Man United optimistic of getting the deal done, Bryan Mbuemo himself has told Brentford he thinks the offer is fair and the move should happen before the US tour. That's Ben Jacobs. Again, if Brentford outright reject the third bid and say it is not near the valuation structure, then Man United will walk away. That, I think, is a key factor in all of this and what we'll talk about here in just a moment. I just want to get through all this news that was dropped in that interview. Brentford are yet to discuss the improved offer for Bryan Mbuemo and have not communicated to United whether it will be accepted. That is from Sistoni, whomever that is. And I'm trying to scroll through and see what other information there is, but it's just the pinned tweet. Checking one other page to see if there's anything else for the Mbuemo. Manchester United's third offer from Bryan Mbuemo. This is as of 41 minutes ago from, I don't even know who this is, Sam Tabuta from The Standard. But he says Manchester United's third offer for Bryan Mbuemo is expected to be accepted. No decision yet, but the new bid matches Brentford's demands. Push hard for it to be accepted. Bryan Mbuemo is pushing hard for the offer to be accepted. So, and then again, the big little bit of all of that, and that's really all the news from that Ben Jacobs interview, as well as the Ornstein bomb and a few other tidbits in there. But I think the big talking point in all of this is that if the third bid is not accepted, that United are going to walk away. That is quite shocking, just given the fact that they've been pushing for this for quite some time now and trying to bring Mbuemo into the club. It would suck to not see that go through, but from all signs pointing to good things, 65 plus 5, but if the other 5 aren't gettable, it is up technically to the 70 million in valuation in terms of the add-ons, but they are 65 million, which I'm assuming they wouldn't pay straight up. It'll be in installments, whether it's 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I'm assuming 3 years, kind of like Cunha, break it up, but it is technically more than what Cunha is, in which Brentford were ultimately always wanting to have the same price tag around that 63.5 million range. It's 65 plus 5, according to Ornstein and Ben Jacobs confirming in that interview, which is really exciting. So we could be very close to a Fabrizio here we go for Mbuemo, and it sounds like he is wanting to get the deal done as well. He wants Brentford and believes Brentford should accept the deal. I mean, why wouldn't he? He wants to go to United. He's made that very clear since the beginning of all these talks about a month and a half, 2 months ago. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens moving forward, whether we see the here we go in the next couple of hours, whether we see the here we go tomorrow. But my assumption is United have put in that bid because Wissa and the talks are heating up, because Liverpool are trying to hijack Newcastle, because I don't believe Newcastle are going to sell or want to sell Isak to Liverpool. So Liverpool are hijacking Ekitike, and then Newcastle, okay, we're going to keep Isak. Let's try to bring in Wissa to play with him and the rest of the squad. But that could prove to be catastrophic for the Mbuemo deal, because Brentford don't want to lose Wissa and Mbuemo. So if United get this over the line, and this has probably forced their hand to do so, to pay a little bit more than maybe what they wanted, but 60 million I thought was going to be a fair offer for Mbuemo. They've paid 60. They want to pay 65 plus 5, which again I think the 5 and add-ons, according to Ben Jacobs, and I do believe it, might be unattainable, but at least it would be 65 straight up. Broken out, I'm assuming, over a payment structure period. But that's really exciting stuff. I do honestly expect Brentford to accept the deal. It's more than what they've wanted. I know originally they wanted 70, but 65 plus 5, I think 65 is well over the value of what Mbuemo is. I think he's a 60 million player. So the extra 5 you get, and you can bring in some players to replace him, or a player to replace him and potentially Wissa if they do indeed lose both, but they're pretty adamant on only losing one of them this window. So massive stuff in the world of Manchester United news, with the Mbuemo deal finally coming to potentially a close here soon, in which I'm going to actually pull up, because at any moment the update could hit that it is a here we go. Let me check one more time before we sign off, and it is not a here we go just yet live on this video. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Do you think it's a little bit of an overpayment? Do we kind of have to do it now that Wissa is rumored to go to potentially Newcastle United? Is it a fair deal? Do we just want to get this over the line? Let me know your comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like, hit that subscribe button. We are getting ready for our first live stream of the match on Saturday, so be sure to be prepared for that. But that's going to be it for this one, guys, and we will catch up with you in the next video.